This is like the hottest day of the year. And I think it's about to rain. What a great day to go camping. This is an awesome spot for camping. I'll be watching that sunset later. G'day guys, my name's Ross and I moved with my family to Australia during a global pandemic. Ever since I bought that thing, I've wanted to go camping. But to go camping, you need like stuff. And the most I had was an awning. So I bought a swag. I think that's gonna need airing in a bit. My God, I'm sweating. Or am I getting wet from the rain? But now I've got some camping stuff and I can kind of camp. I'll be able to get a decent night's sleep without the children. But if that isn't your only reason to camp, and you want to camp in a bit of creature comforts, then you might need one of these. This is the Ecoflow River Max battery pack. And a 160 watt solar panel charger. Thanks to Ecoflow for sending me all of this kit. I really appreciate it because it's the hottest day of the year today, and I hope that I can power something that's not going to make me sweat to death. Can you sweat to death? Is that even like a thing? Should we look at what it can do? This thing has over 500 watt hours of power, and I don't even know what a watt hour is. Well, I do, but no, I don't really. But the thing you're all wondering is, how much stuff can I actually power off of this thing? How comfortable can my camping trip be? How long is this thing gonna last? What even does 500 watt hours look like? Now, I don't have a camping fridge yet, but what I do have is a regular fridge with some beers. So, most important part of a camping trip is I need to make sure that they get cold. Let's plug that in first. Let's have a look at this solar panel. Well, it's got a nice fancy case. It's quite big. I don't think you could realistically carry this stuff around with you. I mean, this thing is like the weight of a car battery, and I'm all about the power. Well, I don't really know yet because that's the whole point of this video. I want to see how much it can power, but it does look pretty posh. I mean, it's a pretty big solar panel. And you can tell I haven't opened it up yet because it's still got the styrofoam in it. It's 160 watts, so I'm assuming that means that each of the 4 panels is like 40 watts. So the test will be, once I rag the crap out of it, how quickly does this charge in the morning? Because it's kind of like nearly night now. Now, because I knew I was going to be running loads of stuff off this thing, got a little power pack for it so I can plug more things in. But actually, it already comes with 2 ports, and I don't know how long I could actually hold this up with one hand for. It's really heavy. Good job I got a table, and I'm pathetically not strong. Well, nah, it's like really heavy. This is like the oldest beer fridge in the world. I bought it when we first moved to Australia as my beer fridge, but I've obviously since updated. Now the test, and I'm gonna cry if this doesn't actually work, because then my beer won't be cold. It says it's outputting something. The light is on and I can hear this little bad boy whirring. Now, worryingly, it says it's only going to last for 4 hours. And yes, I cheated because I went down the bottle first and bought cold ones. But I guess the whole point is, will it keep them cool? But I'm bloody going to have one before it gets warm. Cheers. It's starting to go warm already. Well, it's not cold in there yet. Please fully charge before use. Well, I'm bloody glad I did that, eh? Right, I need my next thing to help me keep cool. And one of these to keep it cold. You should check them out. We went with them. Pretty good day. A fan. Everyone needs a fan to keep cool. Plug this into the second socket. She turns on. Of course I could just have a battery fan one, but I have got a battery fan one. That is a battery. Oh, I hope this lasts all night. I'm set. I'm sweet. This is me, just camping with a fan and a beer. But what else can I run off it? So at the moment, it's saying I've got about, what's that, 3 or 4? 3? Kind of halfway through, still at 99%. 156 watts I'm running. That's with the fridge and the fan so far. I want to actually see how much power I can get off the solar while the sun is even setting. Now, I know this isn't in prime position. I'm no solar expert, but I'm just doing this in the spirit of science. And this is where we find out that the battery doesn't reach. Of course the cable doesn't quite reach. Why would it reach? That would just be too easy. Right, I think there must be a cable in here. Ooh, more extension cables. So you can charge it off a 12 volt. So worst case scenario is I can charge it off my car, but that also does have 240 volt as well. So I could do it faster, but then when I drain my car battery. I guess it's nice to know if, in the case of emergencies. So this bad boy, I think, goes in here. Excuse the focus. And then my solar cables can then go in here. Now, which one's the negative one? Now, it does say on them which one is negative and which one is positive. And they are color coded, so let's hope I don't blow these these up. Would it even blow up if I put the wrong ones in? That is not something I'm prepared to try. Okay, so we're in, and there is an ever so slight input. So now I've got a bit of a longer cable. Let's see if I can't even position this a little bit better. I'm just going to put it there off the car at the moment. As you can see, there's not exactly much sun anyway, but it is a lovely view. And yeah, we're not getting much wattage. I suppose we wouldn't get 160 watts anyway. They only have about 80% return. So quick maths puts that at like 120 something watts I'd get maximum anyway. So I'm getting about quarter power out of it, and I don't know for how long until the sun lasts. Let's check if the fridge is cold yet. She's actually cold. You can even see the frost starting to like build up. Well, at least if I put the beers in there, they're gonna keep cool, possibly even freeze. God forbid they freeze. At least I can have a cold beer with it. I'll stick that one underneath. So to recap, I have cold beers, I have a fan, I've got the sunset. What more could I want? I know. I mean, in real life that looks much better, but actually you can't really see the glowingness. Now, as you can see with most campsites, and the fact that this is Australia, you kind of need a bug zapper. So I've got one, and let's hope it zabs some bugs rather than letting them feast on me. Because that lake is definitely going to attract some mozzies. What a beautiful sunset. Sunsets in Australia are something else. What else do I need camping? Dinner? Another good old Kmart special, the air fryer. Let's plug her in. I'm sure this isn't really the safest having it just dangling off of here. I'm only getting like 4 watts off the solar now, so I think it's probably time I unplug the solar panels. Let's just take it straight out of there. The power's dropped off. Let's put this bad boy away. Safe for another day. I guess I can put the battery back now. Put you underneath with all your cables. Let's hope it doesn't rain. I mean, that would be a good test, right? To actually see if this thing was waterproof. I mean, you don't really test how waterproof batteries are, but you want it to go a little bit outside, isn't it? That's kind of the point. The air fryer is now plugged in. Who thinks this is actually going to work? Now, obviously, because I'm a realist, I have had some dinner already, but I did pick up a crumbed sausage, pride of the Australian servo. See if we can heat it back up. I'm not really expecting this air fryer to be able to run for ages and cook from frozen. I'd be impressed if this thing even turns on. It's going, I think. That's going. The fan isn't going as much. What does the power pack say? The power pack says it's going. It's giving out 600 watts. I mean, it's not getting nowhere near as hot and as quick as it usually does, but the light is on. Might have to give it a little bit longer than usual, but seems like it's working. Just not really got as much fan anymore. But my semi-warm beer is keeping me cool. Wait for my crumbed sausage to just warm itself back up and my beers to cool down. Okay, something just beeped. Oh, she just flashed red and we're not getting any output anymore. Is that because the power's low and the air fryer has kind of conked? It is a bit warm. I can tell that the air fryer's been doing something. But the battery hasn't done anything else. So what happens if she's not giving anything else? This must be like an auto power thing. So if we disconnect the air fryer, maybe I need to reset it. Is that doing it? It turns the light on. Maybe if I take the whole thing out. Can we have some more power peas? I'm starting to sweat again. Most importantly, my beers are getting warm again. I don't know what to do. Like a man who doesn't want to, I have to concede defeat and read the instructions. Right. Instruction time. There's an app. You can download the app. Maybe I need to download the app, that might help. It's connecting. Well, the app hasn't really told me anything, but do you know what I reckon it is? I think you need to keep repressing that every time. Yeah, look. Everything's back on now. Fan's come back on. I'll put this down to teething problems. If you don't know how to use the thing, you could end up being a little bit buggered. So I reckon I did overload it, and it resets itself, which is a good thing. And you just got to press the button to activate it again. Note to self, it doesn't just turn everything on. You have to press the button. So I've cooked some dinner. I've got my fan. Disappointingly, I'm still on my first beer. Not anymore. And all my mucking around has only used 13%, and I've got about 3 and a bit hours. Oh, They're pretty gold. So what shall I do now? Kind of need some entertainment now, don't we? Oh, what? No power? Looks like I'm gonna have to charge this now. I have seriously been unprepared for this camping trip. Let's go with the fast charging port. Fast charging spot. And let's give that a bit and hope it charges. I think I better turn my fridge back on. That's better. Fans back on. Another Kmart special. I think I shopped too much at Kmart. So here's the thing I've just noticed. The compressor has just clicked off and it's only really using the power for the fan. So before, when I was thinking to myself, it was going to have about 3 hours, 3 and a bit hours of power to power the fridge, which is a little bit worrying, especially if you're camping for 24 hours. But now it's saying I've got 9 hours, even running my fan that's using about 47 watts. So realistically, it's 3 hours of running the compressor, but because it doesn't have to run the compressor all the time, I've got quite a lot of time to run the fridge, so I think it easily run overnight. I'll have to get those beers out of the freezer compartment then. So if you're off-grid camping, what else do you actually need? For now, I don't really know what else I would need. I'm even contemplating, did I need to bring the extra battery pack which is fitted into the bottom? Because she's pretty heavy. I mean, if I was hiking, this probably would be a pretty heavy setup, especially with the solar panels. But for camping with your vehicle, with a tent, I mean, what more would you want? Even with all my mucking around, I'm still on about 78%. So I'm pretty confident that even with a solid night's sleep with my fan on, I'm gonna have some power left tomorrow morning. Just got a mozzie, you bugger. I knew I brought that for a reason. But I am gonna put my fly spray on because I can feel myself perhaps slowly getting eaten alive. Okay, don't do it too close to your face. That tastes better. She's been charging for a bit now. Will she turn on? Yes. And we've got a decent amount of charge. I mean, I know I've brought some absolutely ridiculous things, but I didn't have a TV to bring. So a laptop is gonna be the next best thing. All right, she's pretty dark now. I think I'm gonna go to bed. She says she's on about 2 hours left, 59%. Let's see if it stays on in the night. And look at my hair. Good morning, everyone. Well, that was the sweatiest night I've ever had in my life. For those of you thinking about moving to Brisbane, when it gets warm, it's pretty warm. And it doesn't help when the fan dies. And obviously, if the fan dies, that means the electricity went out. Let's turn the big boy on. She is saying zeros. Well, that's not looking good. This bloke is looking at me, and as we know in Australia, magpies are the most dangerous thing in the world. Well, as with all batteries, we know they eventually are going to die. So let's charge this bad boy up and see how long it takes. Well, right now, as you can see, it's pretty cloudy. So to run this solar panel, these are not ideal conditions. Does that make it any better? We're getting double the amount of watts, but that's still 18 hours to charge the whole thing. So if you've got a cloudy day, yeah, you're gonna struggle. So what have I learned about this Ecoflow bit of kit? Well, actually, it's a really good bit of kit. I've given this thing a pretty big battering, and with no proper camping equipment, just regular household appliances, it lasted for a fair few hours. Can I continue to bring my bar fridge battery along with me on camping trips? Probably not, because that's not what it's designed for. But can this little piece of equipment run it for a fair few hours? Absolutely. Should I go to a camping shop and buy some more energy efficient camping appliances? Yeah, because in the Queensland heat, if you want your fan running all of the time, don't just bring a regular household one. Can you cope off-grid with an Ecoflow? Yeah, even on the worst cloudy day, right in the middle of the morning, with shade blocking out my sun, I'm still going to charge this thing if I leave it out all day. And that's assuming that the sun doesn't move, which it does, and the weather isn't going to get better, which in Queensland, invariably it does unless you have a storm. And then I don't recommend camping. Who do I think this camping setup is for? Well, me. If you're going to go out camping and you have to do bits off-grid, then this is perfect. It's completely mobile. Do I have to put solar panels on the top of my ute? No. They look a bit ugly and I wouldn't want to leave them up all the time. Imagine my fuel economy if I'm going to have a solar panel strapped to the top of my ute all the time. Is it compact and can just fit in your car? Of course it can. Look at the size of this thing. It's tiny. You can put your solar panels wherever it is that you want. I know I've kind of taken the piss on this video, and that's exactly what this piece of kit needs. Because let's face it, I'm an idiot with no camping experience in Australia, and I don't have all the right kit. Has the Ecoflow River Max shown that it's idiot-proof? I kind of think so. And if you're thinking of buying one, well, they're running a promotion soon. And with the link down in the description, you can get money off. So why would you not buy one? Go and treat yourself. And what crazy appliances can you plug into your Ecoflow? Here comes the rain. Let's pack everything up, charge up the Ecoflow properly, and then let's see what this bad boy can power. Back home now, let's plug this in and see what we can actually power. Oh, she's getting loads of power now. So off the mains, it gets a pretty good, decent charge, and it only like takes an hour.
1 hour later.
She's working. The output says she's there. She is working. She is working. She is working. But can we also make some milk? It's working. It's working. Oh, frothy goodness. Now to make my smoothie. Moment of truth. So what have we learned? No, Ross only makes smoothies out of 2 ingredients. Sorry, that's all I had. And no, Ross buys a lot of his appliances from Kmart because they're a good price. But the Ecoflow River Max can pretty much power most appliances, as long as it's not like an air fryer. So for your next camping holiday, if you have to live a little bit off grid and you want to have a little bit of luxury, but not too much air fryer luxury, then number 1, make sure you charge her up from scratch. Number 2, hope for a sunny day so that you can charge her back up. And 3, well, if you use the link down in the description below, you can save some money on buying your first Ecoflow River Max, or any Ecoflow product for that matter. And if that beautiful Chinese ute in the background of my camping experience got you interested, well, have a look at this video so that you can see what it's like. See you next time.